Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time once again to dive into that tense, terrifying, yet always terrific world of the Twilight Zone. This one, Season 1, Episode 12, What You Need. And as Rod promised us at the end of Episode 11, this is a bit of a gift-giving episode, or so he claims. But in this one, friends, I'd like to let you all know that the official air date, at least as far as Paramount Plus is concerned, is December 25th, 1959. Nothing to it but to do it, friends. If you could do me a quick favor, though, and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for a little Twilight Zone. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to watch The Twilight Zone, specifically Season 1, Episode 12, What You Need. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! Rod, what do you have for us on this gift-giving episode, apparently? Is this our same bar from the last episode? Yep, there's a phone
You
booth.
ready for another?
I'm fine.
You've been fine for an hour.
How would you like to take a flying jump at the moon?
Well, it's probably his place, so he...
You're looking at Mr. Fred Renard, who carries on his shoulder a chip the size of the national debt.
Huh.
This is a man who has lived 36 undistinguished, meaningless, pointless, failure-laden years, and who at this moment looks for an escape.
Really?
And this little old man is just what Mr. Renard is waiting for.
What have you got for us?
You don't need matches, miss. I'll tell you what you need. Yes, I think I know what it is you need.
What's that?
What is it?
Cleaning fluid. Oh, very good cleaning fluid. Guaranteed to remove spots of any and all kinds.
Who are you, buddy? We got a lot of peddlers and stuff, don't we?
Well, what do you think I need, Pop?
Well, shoelaces perhaps, or matches.
No, I'm afraid not, Pop. They wouldn't help me. No. What I need, you haven't got.
What do you need?
A new left arm.
A new left arm.
What?
Yeah, Lefty was quite a pitcher in his time. He pitched for a couple of years for the Cubs. Then his arm went sour.
Oh, man.
What do you do now?
What does he do now? He comes in here 7 nights a week, looking for a baseball career at the bottom of a bottle.
Hey, bartender, we're not asking you the questions, buddy.
There are alternatives. There are things instead.
You could coach.
Instead of baseball, let's go back to shoelaces, Pop.
Huh.
I think I know what it is you need.
Bus ticket.
That's right. That's what it is. A bus ticket.
Where to?
That's what's in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Nice, lovely, beautiful coal mines. You can't pitch with that arm anymore, Lefty. Maybe you can dig with it.
I would find a new bar. I got a job opportunity. And guess where it is? I can't believe it, he says.
Old manager of mine, been looking for me for 3 weeks. Got me a job. Coaching job. Minor league club in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
How did you not put that together yet?
He wants me to take a bus there. How about that?
Nobody thinks that's weird, everybody?
But why question it? It's there for you. You just take it.
I don't get it.
You don't have to get it, ma'am. It's good fortune.
I like to look halfway decent when I meet the general manager. That's who I'm going to meet, the general manager. Hate to look like a tramp. I can get a shave.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Why don't you try this? It's supposed to be very good for that sort of thing.
Oh, I don't want to bother you, miss.
Oh, no. Let me try.
All right.
Fred, did you clock all this? He's been clocking this guy the whole time.
I was lucky you were around.
Not really lucky. The old gentleman over there.
What old gentleman? They really, I mean, this is like, you know, one for the angels. Do you know Lou Bookman? He was the best.
What do I need? You tell me, old man.
One needs many different things.
Yeah, but
Fred, take this easy.
what do I need?
Scissors?
What is this, some kind of gag? I want you to level with me, old man. I mean it. I'll spread you all over the street.
They're what you need.
Come on, yeah, Fred. I mean, you've been watching this guy, and maybe if you kept your shit about you a little bit, this would work out in your favor.
Hey!
Or take the scarf off. It's a little heavy-handed to get this to work, but that's okay.
Yeah. What I needed. Yeah.
Okay, take it easy. We don't even know the peddler's name, do we? Just Pops and whatever they've been calling him. Is he in this guy's apartment? That's interesting.
It was a nice pair of scissors I got from you tonight. Yeah, they saved my hide.
How'd you know that?
What do you got in there? Some kind of machine?
Dude, be nice. We were told he's an a-hole, so, I mean...
You can see ahead, can't you? You can look into the future. You poor dummy. You got $1 million talent in you. You dribble it away on nickels and dimes.
He's trying to make the world a better place, bud.
I don't need a partner. I don't need anything. I'm content. I have this talent, but I use it sparingly. I must use it sparingly.
Why?
Luxury, Papa. Luxury. Now, come on, concentrate. Go into a trance or whatever you do and tell me what I need to know for tomorrow.
Oh, boy. I'm not sure this is how this works, buddy.
A pen? What is this, a gag or something? A leaky pen. Hey, this is wild. This is really wild. Look, it dropped right alongside of a horse's name. Staunch soldier runs in the first race tomorrow.
You're reading too much into that.
A leaky fountain pen. See you later.
I think this guy has probably like a Cassandra type of thing where he can see the bad and the good.
Could have been $1 million. $2 million. Yeah, that's gonna be.
Nice that those dollars fall to the ground.
Did you ever hear of a tip?
A tip? Oh, yeah, here's a tip. Don't play with matches.
Like the double kick there.
This doesn't have to stop at races either. It could be football games, baseball, basketball.
It's not going to leak anymore.
Oh, that old crumb bomb. See him. Take it out of his lousy old hide.
Now watch, he's going to need that pen for something else. Cool shot.
You, whatever your name is.
Pigot. That's my name. You won a great deal, Mr. Renard. Things you need, you only need once. Just once.
Wow. Okay.
I feel sorry for you. I really do.
I don't want you to. I don't want you to go to that kind of trouble.
I like that. I don't want you to go to that kind of trouble. Don't feel sorry for me.
The things you need most, I can't supply.
What are they?
Serenity.
Yeah.
Those are the things you need most. But it's beyond my power to give them to you. Now look.
Oh, man, you need to listen to him.
You can see ahead, I know you can. Now look deep.
He's gonna die. God, both of them are doing such a great job.
Oh, please don't.
Shoes?
Oh, man, buddy. He's gonna sit there and change his shoes and get hit by a car as I try to predict the Twilight Zone, which is impossible.
Yeah, I put them on and then I walk someplace. Is that it? I walk someplace where I find what I need.
That's not it. That I can't provide.
What are you doing? Give me the business? Is that what you're doing? Give me the business?
God,
You know, I can come over there and take you apart bone by bone.
See you do it in those shoes.
Come on, old man, tell me. Are these what I need?
I didn't say they were. They happen to be what I need.
To get away from you. Jeez, oh Pete.
In your eyes at that bar was death. My death. You were going to kill me.
Wow.
That's what was needed. Slippery shoes. Can I sell you something tonight, sir? Shoelaces, matches, anything?
Are you kidding, old-timer? What would I need?
What do you need?
This is what you need. It's yours. No charge tonight.
At this time of night, he gives me a comb. Says it's what I need.
You're going to get interviewed on the news or something? Oh, watch that. That'd be hilarious.
Will you please hold it, folks? I'd like to take your picture.
Come on, man.
Try to make yourself presentable. Our picture's going to be in the paper. The comb.
Street scene, night. Traffic accident. Victim named Fred Renard. Gentleman with a sour face to whom contentment came with difficulty. Fred Renard, who took all that was needed in the Twilight Zone.
Fantastic. It's like we end with stage directions for how to set it. It's awesome. All right, everyone, we just finished watching the 12th episode of the first season of The Twilight Zone, What You Need, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everyone, we just finished What You Need, the 12th episode of the first season of The Twilight Zone. This one, this was the first time that we've had something that seemed repetitive, but I mean, obviously was not. But again, we have very similar kind of themes. I mean, how many times have we had a peddler so far? And I mean, obviously we had Lou Bookman, the greatest peddler of all time, and One for the Angels, but we also had Henry J. Fate and Mr. Denton on Doomsday. You know, if we were going by the textbook definition of, you know, like a peddler or a pitchman or something like that. And now we've had this gentleman in What You Need. So it's very interesting the way that, am I missing somebody too? It seems like I am. Maybe not. I think it's really interesting, like that kind of thing that Rod, because he writes most of the stuff, right? He kind of falls back to again, that occupation seems to play a big role in how he constructs his characters. And I can understand why. I mean, again, you need somebody that would have a lot of things, would know a lot of people, could move around, so to speak, you know. So I can understand why that would be like a preferred kind of like occupation or a job to give to somebody that you need as a protagonist, you know. Again, it's an easy fit, I think, to put into a lot of different scenarios. But all that aside, I like the idea, too, that this was sort of like a Cassandra type of person, you know, that could see the future, good or ill, you know, at least are flashes of it or things that might be, you know, potentially needed, and then able to work on them. But he chose to do so in a way that would positively affect those around him and not positively affect himself, which I think is a really interesting way to establish a character that has values. Because, you know, we saw in then Renard, the exact opposite, somebody that sees the power and says, you're walking around here and not like exploiting the hell out of the ability to see the future. I mean, who are you? Like, what, how stupid can you be? You know, you could be rich, you could be famous, you could do it, you got powerful, you could do all of these things. And again, you know, who's to say that he couldn't have either? And his name was Padot. I heard his name and I was like, I don't think I heard that correctly, so I'm not going to speculate on what the peddler's name was. But again, I think that it was, I'm going to look that up actually so I can get it right. So it was Mr. Padot, I believe. I'm not 100% convinced that that's the correct way to say that, so apologies if my Swiss cheese brain has already goofed up the pronunciation. But, you know, it was a comparative story, you know, and again, this is something that Serling does too, you know, again, to put somebody in place that, he does it throughout his stories, and we saw it a couple times here. The most obvious one was between Renard and Padot, where you're like, okay, so, you know, what do you do with the power in play here to see the future? We see kind of like the bastardization of it with Renard, as he's like, I'm going to use this for personal gain. And then, of course, our gentleman who was using it to better the people around. But that wasn't the only comparisons that we saw. You know, we saw Lefty, the ex-pitcher at the beginning, and Lefty seemed to, even though he was in a circumstance that you could say would be just as kind of depressing as Renard's was. You know what I mean? They're both at the same bar. You know, he was somebody that pitched for the Cubs, and now all of a sudden he's, you know, kind of washed up and yet and still relatively young, it looks like. And so, you know, but again, he had a better attitude. He had a more positive outlook on everything. You know, he was nice. He was, you know, very conversational with Padot. He was, you know, again, the bartender was a huge a-hole, but other than that, Lefty kind of rolled with the punches there. He kind of rolled with the punches. And again, that speaks of our comparison too, our comparatives between Renard and Lefty. Lefty, again, didn't wallow in that type of, you know, situation. He could have easily been a Renard. But our peddler sees him and realizes, with just one little thing I can help him. He was always going to get that call, right? But he gave him the ticket so he could help. And then he set the lady up with the spot remover so potentially they could all be together. And thus, within a frame of 5 to 10 minutes, he's made both of their lives potentially better. You know what I mean? And I think it's very interesting that, you know, again, it's a great way of showing the true nature of our characters through conversation and interaction with characters. And I mean, obviously that's the way that you have to do it in any type of like fictional format, whether it be a book or a TV show or a movie. You know, we have to be able to judge these. No one's going to step forward, even though we have a great narrator in Rod, no one's going to step forward in the middle of something like this and be like, you can trust this person. They belong in the trusting side of the room. This person's an asshole. They belong in the asshole corner. No one's going to say that for us. We have to, you know, come to our own conclusions about that. And usually it's overt. Like Renard was just he did say that about Renard, didn't he? You know, this is a guy who's just a complete dick, you know, and go. But with everybody else, you know, and again, I love Rod Serling, but is he a reliable narrator? He seems to be so far. He seems to tell us, you know, the absolute truth. He cuts to the chase. You're going to see this. You're going to see that. This is what happened to these people. You know, he's nebulous. But again, I often wonder when I watch these with Rod as the narrator, is Rod the narrator or is Rod another character? And I'm not sure that can be answered because, you know, we have Rod talking directly to us. You know, it's very conversational, much like what we just described as somebody that could be kind of assumed to be trustworthy that we saw in What You Need, you know, inside the actual episode. And when Rod comes forward and offers us information and tells us what we can expect from the show, or a little teaser or something, you know, before we go in, and then his summation at the end, you know, we take at face value. But I wonder if we should. And I wonder if Rod wanted us to take him at face value. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is he throws in like little winks every once in a while. You know, he'll just drop one in there. And I almost think like he's warning us somehow, like, you know what? I'm your buddy, but don't trust everything I say. You know, I absolutely love that. I absolutely love the way that, one, he plays the narrator role. And again, his narration's great, but I certainly think that, like I just said, that narrator is a role inside the show. He's not just popping up to help us with, the nuts and bolts and the facts of the case. There's flavor added to each of his statements. Otherwise, if you were describing Renard at the very beginning, you could say, here's a person that society doesn't really care for. You know what I mean? But he went on and on about how Renard was a real ass. You know what I mean? So it's very, very interesting to be able to see somebody come in here and provide us what looks like a reliable narration source. While at the same time, because of the very genre in which we are participating, someone that can seem suspect. And again, it also plays into my paranoia because I constantly start to question things when they don't go the right way, or a surprise swerve comes into play. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute, Rod, you knew something. Well, of course he did. He wrote it. But another fine adventure inside the Twilight Zone, friends, and I don't think I can wait too much longer to watch another one. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time to watch the Twilight Zone. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. Ooh, but my dear friends, all that is then, this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye from the Twilight Zone. So where should we say goodbye from? Well, friends, normally when we say goodbye from all of our series episodes, we're able, as a reward for being the audience, the Greek chorus, a vitally important part of the narrative, we are gifted the reward to go back into the episode we just watched and say goodbye from somewhere. But with the Twilight Zone, we do things a little differently. We say goodbye as a result of the Twilight Zone. And so, friends, I will say this. You and I are walking down the street. It's a little cold out. Jackets are definitely needed with the nip in the air. And as we are walking, we see a kindly peddler, an older gentleman standing there. And as we walk by, we nod, maybe tip of the cap to our neighbor here. And as we walk past 2, 4, 6 steps, we hear, wait a minute, come on back here. You both need something. Friends, what do we need? Until such time as we can watch another one of these great stories, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.